A judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs. Of course, this was the hip-hop mogul's latest bid for freedom as he remains in federal jail for his racketeering and trafficking.
And I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue.
The devastation caused by the LA wildfires has left many shocked, but even more intriguing are the conspiracy theories swirling around these events. Was it just a natural disaster, or is there something much darker at play? Some believe the fires were not random at all, but rather a deliberate attempt to destroy evidence tied to a network of underground activities involving Sean Diddy Combs and other high-profile celebrities. Could someone powerful be pulling the strings behind the scenes, orchestrating these fires to cover up secrets that could shake Hollywood to its core? Let's dive into this wild theory and see what might really be going on.
We expect winds to subside somewhat, which will allow fire crews to increase containment lines. However, and I want to be very clear here as well, we are still under red flag warning with extreme fire behavior possibilities.
First, let's set the stage. The fires, which tore through Los Angeles County, have been called some of the worst in the city's history, with thousands of homes burned and countless people displaced. Yet, amidst the chaos, one glaring detail stands out. Diddy's Holmby Hills mansion, a sprawling 17,000 square foot estate, remains untouched. This has sparked whispers that the flames might have been intentionally directed away from his property, raising eyebrows about why his house was spared while so many others in the area were reduced to rubble. What's even more peculiar is the timing. These fires erupted just as Diddy sits behind bars awaiting trial on charges that could expose secrets that some very powerful people don't want to see the light of day.
It's just incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent until proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we could debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent until proven guilty.
But why would anyone go so far as to set fires to cover something up? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Rumors have long circulated about secret tunnels and hidden rooms beneath the lavish mansions of LA's elite, spaces allegedly used for highly private and often controversial gatherings. Diddy's infamous parties, often described as extravagant and exclusive, have been the subject of speculation for years. Some claim these parties weren't just about music and dancing, but were more like rituals attended by some of Hollywood's biggest names. According to certain theories, these spaces might hold incriminating evidence, things like recordings, logs, or even physical remnants that could connect powerful figures to activities they'd rather keep hidden. If such evidence existed, the fires could be a convenient way to erase it all without leaving a trace.
It's a legitimate concern. No judge wants to wake up and read the headlines the next day, oh, they treated this guy special and they gave him bond, and now he's gone and he fled from justice. So that's what's in the back of most judges' minds. On the other hand, we deal with cases where clients have significant funds sometimes, and sometimes where there's money, you can craft a unique solution. Years ago, it was the ankle bracelet and the ankle monitor.
And let's not forget Diddy's current legal troubles. He's facing a mountain of accusations, from racketeering to trafficking, and insiders say he might be on the verge of cooperating with authorities. If Diddy starts talking, who knows how many names he could drop? That's where the theory gets even murkier. Some believe Diddy is just a pawn, a frontman for a much larger network of influential figures. If he were to reveal what he knows, it could implicate not just celebrities, but possibly executives, politicians, and other high-ranking individuals. The stakes are enormous, and it's not hard to imagine why someone might go to extreme lengths, like setting entire neighborhoods ablaze, to ensure certain truths never come out.
The time in the world, 6 months between those raids and then when he was indicted, to run. Is that something that his defense could highlight and say, hey, he could have left but didn't?
I think you should practice law because that's an excellent argument. I think it's a 100% correct argument, which is he had the opportunity to flee, except that sometimes people don't think rationally. Some people that are in power often think.
Here's where it gets even stranger. Some of Diddy's alleged victims have hinted at connections between these activities and the fires. Ally Carter, a vocal accuser, claimed that fires like these could be tied to efforts to destroy evidence linked to trafficking networks. She even warned about them months before the flames erupted, saying that explosions make fires too. Her statements have led online sleuths to dig deeper into the connections between Diddy's legal troubles and the destruction caused by the fires. Could it all be a coincidence, or is there something more sinister at play? The timing, the locations, and the people involved make it hard to ignore the possibility that these fires were not as random as they seem. Let's not forget how many other celebrities were affected by the fires. The destruction seemed to follow a peculiar pattern, targeting areas where many high-profile figures had homes. From From Paris Hilton's Malibu mansion to Anna Faris's Pacific Palisades property, the list of celebrity losses is extensive. Even Tom Hanks' estate narrowly escaped the flames. Could this be a coincidence, or were these homes targeted for a reason? Some theorists suggest that these properties might have been connected to the same underground network of secrets tied to Diddy. If so, the fires might have been an attempt to wipe out any trace of these connections, ensuring that no evidence could be discovered during ongoing investigations.
Aside from all the public anger and anxiety, I mean, clearly there'd be a lawsuit against the person for doing that. And they'd have to defend themselves. Even if they win, lawsuits are expensive, they're costly, get you the kind of media attention you don't want. I just don't see how they put him in with general population or other inmates at all.
Obviously, Diddy wants to leave jail because it's not a desirable place to go.
Adding fuel to the fire, no pun intended, are the statements made by Ye, who has repeatedly spoken out about the control and manipulation within Hollywood. Ye has claimed that many celebrities are controlled and that powerful forces use fear, blackmail, and even sacrifices to keep them in line. He's also alluded to secret gatherings and rituals that take place in hidden spaces, which some believe could be tied to the very same tunnels and underground locations allegedly destroyed in the fires. West's rants might seem outlandish to some, but when you consider the timing of the fires and the rumors surrounding Diddy's parties, his warnings take on a new level of intrigue.
I think he's telling everybody exactly what they don't want to hear.
Let's also talk about the tunnels. While it might sound like something out of a movie, whispers about secret underground passages connecting the mansions of Hollywood's elite have persisted for years. These tunnels are said to be used for everything from private meetings to transporting guests discreetly. According to some reports, investigators had been looking into the possibility of such tunnels beneath Diddy's Holmby Hills estate and other properties connected to him. If these tunnels existed and contained evidence of illegal activities, the fires would have been the perfect way to destroy them before authorities could dig deeper, literally.
He was I was 3 years old. I don't have like a lot of memories of my father. They say, you can't miss something you never had. So that's only a little ways right, There's definitely been times as I've gotten older that I've missed my father.
And then there's the question of insurance. Some skeptics point out that many of the celebrities who lost homes in the fires will likely receive hefty payouts from their insurers, which could make the losses a little easier to bear. But for others, the theory goes deeper than just financial compensation. It's about protecting their reputations and ensuring that no one ever uncovers what really went on behind closed doors. If these fires were indeed set intentionally, it could be part of a much larger plan to protect not just Diddy, but an entire network of interconnected elite. The theory doesn't stop there. Some believe that the fires were also a warning, a message to anyone who might consider speaking out or cooperating with authorities. In this version of events, the destruction of these homes serves as a chilling reminder that no one is safe, not even the most powerful figures in Hollywood. It's a way of saying, if you talk, you could lose everything. Whether or not this is true, the theory has captured the imagination of many, with online forums buzzing about the possible connections between the fires, Diddy's legal troubles, and the hidden world of Hollywood secrets. As we piece together the puzzle, one thing becomes clear. There are more questions than answers. Why did the fires seem to target specific areas? Why was Diddy's mansion spared? And most importantly, who stands to benefit from the destruction and chaos? Some point to shadowy figures behind the scenes, individuals who have remained untouchable for years but might now be feeling the heat. Literally, others suggest that Diddy himself might be a scapegoat, a distraction from even larger players pulling the strings.
I think that even if we don't know our parents, we still have their DNA in us. We have their genes. I have his hustler's mentality, his hustler spirit, his drive, his determination, his swag.
The conspiracy doesn't end with Diddy. Many other names have been dragged into the conversation, from high-profile celebrities to powerful executives. The so-called Diddy List, a rumored compilation of individuals connected to his gatherings, has been making waves online. While much of it is speculation, the sheer number of names mentioned, some of whom have already faced their own controversies, adds another layer of intrigue to the story. Could all these people really be connected? And if so, what are they hiding?
Diddy's mom has finally spoken out amidst everything that is happening right now. Janice Small Combs provided a statement to some outlets via her attorney. So she starts off by saying it's very heartbreaking to see her son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies.
The fallout from the LA fires continues to capture the public's imagination, but the deeper you look into the connections between the destruction and Hollywood's elite, the more sinister it all seems. With Diddy's legal issues looming large and rumors of a hidden celebrity network growing louder by the day, many are asking, was this firestorm really just a natural disaster, or was it a calculated move to erase years of secrets, evidence, and connections that could destroy some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry? Let's start with the list of celebrities whose homes were destroyed or severely damaged in the fires. It's not just a coincidence that so many high-profile figures were affected, is it? Paris Hilton's beachfront mansion in Malibu, Anna Faris's stunning Pacific Palisades property, and even This Is Us star Milo Ventimiglia's home were all reduced to rubble. Some of these homes, like Denise Crosby's Spanish-style cottage and Jeff Bridges' family residence, held decades of memories, yet they've now been turned to ash in what many are calling one of the most targeted wildfire spreads in recent history. While official reports blame the Santa Ana winds and dry conditions, skeptics point to how the destruction seemed to follow a map of celebrity properties, almost as though someone wanted to ensure these homes were wiped out.
Diddy will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days. So,
interestingly, not all celebrity homes were touched. Diddy's sprawling Holmby Hills mansion, for instance, remains completely intact. Tom Hanks' property in Pacific Palisades was also miraculously spared. Even his homes just a few blocks away were destroyed. And here's the kicker. Steve Guttenberg's house, located in the summit area of the Palisades, was surrounded by flames but somehow remained unscathed, almost as though the fire intentionally avoided it. It raises a curious question. What do these untouched properties have in common? Are they simply lucky, or is their survival tied to a larger narrative about who's in or out of this hidden network?
It sounded crazy. Like I said before, they said that 2,300 people reached out to the law firm, and out of the 2,300 people, I guess they decided to go with just a little over 100, which seems like it's they just put out the number and everybody's calling to see if they can get a check.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Now, again, he did say that nothing has been filed yet because he says he wants to make sure that they do their due diligence and get this right.
The theory becomes even more compelling when you consider the alleged underground tunnels rumored to connect several of these homes. These tunnels have been the subject of speculation for years, with whispers of secret passageways running beneath high-security mansions in Los Angeles. Their purpose? According to some sources, they were used for discreet gatherings that involved everything from private meetings to elaborate rituals. If these tunnels existed under the destroyed properties, the fires could have conveniently erased any trace of them. And as investigators dig deeper into Diddy's alleged activities, the timing of the fire seems all too convenient.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
But why would these celebrities need to be silenced? For that, we need to look at the growing list of names being tied to Diddy's so-called connections. Some of Hollywood's most famous faces have been mentioned in whispers about his legendary parties, including Leonardo DiCaprio, Beyoncé, and even Prince Harry. The theory suggests that these parties weren't just social events, but carefully curated gatherings where powerful individuals could let their guard down, and, in some cases, leave behind incriminating traces of their actions. If evidence of these events existed, whether in the form of recordings, documents, or even physical spaces, the fires would have been a convenient way to ensure it all vanished. What's even more chilling is the idea that Diddy himself might not be the mastermind, but merely a pawn in an elaborate game orchestrated by someone even more powerful. For years, Diddy has been a central figure in the music and entertainment industry, but his rise to fame and fortune has always carried an air of mystery. Some believe he owes his success to influential backers who used him as a frontman while pulling the strings from the shadows. Now that Diddy is facing legal trouble and potentially cooperating with authorities, these shadowy figures might be scrambling to cover their tracks by any means necessary.
That fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the...
West's recent remarks only add fuel to the fire. Yeah, who has never been shy about speaking his mind, has repeatedly hinted at the dark side of Hollywood, calling out what he sees as control and manipulation within the industry. He's claimed that many celebrities are controlled by powerful forces and that those who step out of line face severe consequences. In one of his now infamous rants, he even mentioned sacrifices and described how certain tragedies in Hollywood might not be as accidental as they seem. While his statements are often dismissed as ramblings, they align eerily well with the timing and implications of these fires. Yee isn't the only one raising alarms. Allie Carter, who has accused Diddy of wrongdoing in the past, warned months ago about fires being used to destroy evidence. She claimed that explosions could make fires too, and suggested that these disasters often serve a deeper purpose. Her comments have resurfaced in light of the LA fires, and many are now wondering if her warnings were more than just speculation. Could she have been onto something all along? And if so, how much more does she know about the alleged network of secrets tied to these celebrities? The insurance angle also raises eyebrows. Many of the celebrities who lost homes in the fires are likely to receive massive payouts from their insurers. While this might seem like a silver lining for those affected, some skeptics suggest it could be part of a larger plan. If these homes contain evidence that needed to be destroyed, the insurance money could serve as compensation or even hush money, ensuring that no one digs too deeply into what was really lost in the flames. It's a win-win for those pulling the strings. The evidence is gone, and the celebrities are financially taken care of, which reduces the likelihood of anyone speaking out.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James.
Adding another layer of intrigue is the online chatter about the so-called Diddy list. This list, which has been circulating on forums and social media, allegedly names dozens of celebrities who are somehow connected to Diddy's controversial gatherings. While the authenticity of the list is impossible to verify, the names it includes are enough to make anyone sit up and take notice. Figures like Usher, Mariah Carey, and even Jennifer Lopez have been mentioned, raising questions about what they might have seen or heard at these events. While none of these individuals have been accused of any wrongdoing, their association with Diddy has fueled speculation about just how deep this network goes. And let's not overlook the role of the media in all this. The coverage of the fires has focused heavily on the destruction and the human toll, but it's been surprisingly quiet about the connections between the affected properties and the ongoing investigations into Hollywood's elite. Some theorists believe this media silence is no accident. If powerful figures are indeed working to cover their tracks, controlling the narrative would be a key part of their strategy. By keeping the focus on the natural causes of the fires, they can divert attention away from the more troubling questions about who might have benefited from the destruction.
If they did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming and things of that nature.
As the story unfolds, new details continue to emerge, each one more shocking than the last. Reports of underground vaults, hidden documents, and even unregistered safes found in the rubble are adding to the mystery. Could these items hold the key to unraveling the truth about what really happened? And if so, how long will it be before someone steps forward with concrete evidence? The stakes are higher than ever, and the pressure is mounting on both sides, those seeking justice and those desperate to keep their secrets buried.
You know, it's still pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share.
The LA fires have left a trail of destruction, but they've also ignited a firestorm of speculation that shows no signs of dying down. Whether you believe this is all just a series of unfortunate events or part of a meticulously planned cover-up, one thing is certain. The connections between Diddy, the fires, and Hollywood's elite are too compelling to ignore. As investigators continue to sift through the ashes, the world is left wondering what they might find and who might be exposed in the process. The truth, whatever it is, promises to be explosive, and this story is far from over. Stay tuned, because the next chapter could change everything.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment, as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
The comment section is open, and the team wants to hear your thoughts. Do you believe these fires were a natural disaster, or is there something more sinister at play? Could Diddy's legal troubles be the tip of the iceberg, revealing a network of Hollywood's darkest secrets? Leave your comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the narratives around you. Goodbye for now.